posters representing just a small fraction of the more than 8,000 films Universal Studios has made, and its more than 100 years of existence. The very first was Damon Amphibious in 1914. Carl Laemmle founded Universal Studios in Universal City. That's him right there on your screen. And his vision was to create a city entirely devoted to making movies. And that's exactly what he did. This really is its own city, complete with postal zip code, sub-sheriff station, and there even used to be a DMV here and elected mayors that would serve one-year terms and see to the day-to-day operations of Universal City. Here on the right is a real working fire station that serves Universal City, one of the only real things you will see today on the tour. Now, part of Carl Laemmle's vision was to open the doors to the public to witness the movie-making process firsthand, a tradition we continue to this day with the studio tour. So on March 15th, 1915, for the first time, people visited Universal Studios and filled bleachers and got to watch the filming process of movies, but they were able to cheer for their favorite stars because back then they were all silent films, which is not the case today. So we may encounter a quiet zone during which I'd have to hop off mic, and similarly I'll have to kick down my volume a bit as we pass down some of these sound stages because we will be close to some active productions. Now on our left, that's Soundstage 12, and it's home to The Voice, the hit singing competition show. And some other enormous sets to make their home in Stage 12 are Frankenstein's Lab, Dracula's Castle, and the Visitor Center from Jurassic Park. Let's take a look.
So the blinking lights mean it's an active stage, so everything's quiet right now because stage 20 was active. It's still on stage 20, that's why she's on. Also in Stage 21 was Mission Control for Apollo 13, and The Grinch's Lair for How the Grinch Stole Christmas, directed by Ron Howard and starring Jim Carrey. Now, the head of this studio in 1964 was Lou Wasserman. He embraced television, while other studios were focusing just on filmmaking. And at that time, Universal Studios filmed and produced the most network television of any studio. On our right is Stage 41, and that's where Good Girls is filmed, starring Retta Mae Whitman and Christina Hendricks. And here on the right is Stage 44, where The Good Place filmed, starring Ted Danson and Kristen Bell, and they're filming their 4th and final season. They filmed here in Stage 44, as well as in areas of our backlot, or exterior scenes. Now on the left, we are coming to our production bungalows. These used to be dressing rooms for some of Hollywood's biggest stars, like Lucille Ball and Doris Day. But now they're production offices for directors, writers, and producers.
Illumination Entertainment is here. They brought us the Despicable Me franchise. Brownstone Street Productions is here. That's Elizabeth Mink's production company, and they are behind the Pitch Perfect franchise. Mark Platt Productions is here. He brought us La La Land. And he's working on bringing Wicked to the big screen in 2021, which I can't wait for. And Backlot is for dressing rooms. Actors would have long-standing contracts with the studio to make multiple films, and their dressing rooms would be more like a permanent apartment, but now they're more often mobile trailers that can be moved around the studio. Coming up on your left is Bungalow 5195, our most famous bungalow. You'll see a familiar silhouette outside. It belonged to Alfred Hitchcock, director of Rear Window, The Birds, and Psycho, just to name a few. That bungalow was offered to Steven Spielberg, who turned it down, insisting it be turned into a museum or a shrine in honor of Hitchcock instead. But it now belongs to the De Laurentiis Company. They brought Hannibal Lecter to the big and small screen, so it's still in the horror family. On our left are stages 22 and 23. They look a little different. They have dressing rooms and production offices in the front and sound stages in the back. These are where Will and Grace films do episodes, America's Got Talent films here, as well as World of Dance with judges Derek Hough, Neo, and Jennifer Lopez. They were first used for Hairspray Live, which also shot out here in these metropolitan sets. So we are now leaving the front lot behind, and we are entering the back lot, and this is where we film the big stuff, exterior shots on a grand scale. A large portion of this area is called New York Street. So let's hear from my co-host Jimmy, because he has spent quite a bit of time in New York during his SNL days.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. What's that mug over there? An old woman, tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. I'm walking here. Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
American Ninja Warrior films here. They set up their obstacle courses up and down New York Street. And Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, starring Dwayne Johnson, Idris Elba, and Jason Statham film scenes on New York Street as well. The opening scene, when Dwayne Johnson is going to a nightclub, filmed here, as well as a big motorcycle chase that is supposed to be through London, but is actually right here at Universal on this New York Street set. But now we are leaving the concrete jungle behind, and we are fast approaching the actual jungle. But before we do that, let's hear from director Peter Jackson.
It's the original I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up the edge. You can't literally go something. I think you're on board a ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you encounter monsters and creatures from prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now we have created this 3D immersive experience. So
Hey you guys, so if you're just checking in, we're headed into Skull Island at Universal. Thank you, baby.
And just a reminder to remain seated at all times for your safety. Keep your belongings and loved ones close by. It's going to get a little rocky here in Skull Island.
Well, that was very drooly.
That was King Kong 360 3D. What you just saw was
Is he okay?
projections of the largest 3D digital screens in the world. They're more than 180 feet long and more than 40 feet tall. And for that film, Peter Jackson collaborated with Weta Digital. Weta has won 6 Academy Awards, and they've worked on films like The Jungle Book, The Lord of
Let me
the
make
Rings
sure there's no
trilogy, and
dinosaur
King Kong.
drool on my camera lens
Weta
here.
and Peter Jackson go way back. They worked together on the film The Frighteners, starring Michael J. Fox, one of my favorites.
With a project like Studio Tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions. There's creatures coming at them. They're seeing Kong from this side and the T-Rexes from the other side. Working on a movie, we always know people are looking straight ahead. They're looking at the shop. They're looking on. Here, you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions. Also, one of the things about this wall is the ways the ways are working on different cuts. About every given shot is Tram and driving along the Skull Island that we're looking at. This ring represents the
So we're on the last tram tour for the studio of the evening. It's a really nice night out here in Hollywood at Universal City. And upcoming next are the cars that are used in some of the movies.
Now, for the original King Kong in the 1930s, King Kong was an 18-inch tall puppet. So special effects have come quite a long way. That original King Kong took over a year to complete, and at the time that was considered advanced special effects. Now you may have noticed that part of our tram got pulled into the action, and that made our tram a picture car. Any car that appears on screen during a film or TV show is considered a picture car.
Awesome. So
And it
picture
doesn't have to
cars
be a
coming
car,
up
it could be a tram like ours, a bus, airplane, bicycle even. If it appears on screen, it's considered a picture car. And some picture cars are so memorable and recognizable, they become more famous than the actors driving them. So here on the left are some of Universal's famous picture cars.
The newer one. The Flintstones. Cute.
Now, this gyrosphere from Jurassic World never had glass on it. If it did, you would see the reflection of the camera crew and the director in the glass. So that was put in digitally in post-production using CGI or computer-generated imagery. And then heavy-duty tank from Transformers looks like a steel military tank, but it's actually made out of plywood with a fancy paint job. It's a lot cheaper and a lot easier to move around the set.
Awesome. You gotta love the movie
some
magic.
Vehicles and set pieces from one of Universal's most beloved franchises.
To Jurassic Park.
That never gets old.
Right, you guys. So we're going through some
And the
of
most
the vehicles
recent installment,
and
Jurassic
cars
World
used
Fallen
in
Kingdom,
Jurassic
came out
World.
last year. We do have a tree. We actually have some dinosaurs here in these cages to show you. Okay, they were there earlier. They were there for my last tram. All right, we're just going to keep moving. I'm sure it's all right. Now, here on the left. Uh-oh. There's one of them.
Oh, we just saw those guys.
Sorry, folks. Don't worry. Their venom's just a little poisonous. We really have a dinosaur problem here. Now, that mobile lab that we passed was in the Lost World Jurassic Park, and it dangled precariously off of a cliff with Julianne Moore inside. Now we are heading out of the Jurassic era and into Old Mexico. We are going to travel all over time and space today without leaving the studio. Three Amigos filmed here with Chevy Chase, Martin Short, and Steve Martin, as well as Lady Gaga's music video for Judas, scenes for Westworld, and Big Fat Liar starring Frankie Muniz, Amanda Bynes, and Paul Giamatti. But we're here for a little weather demonstration. If a film calls for a storm, filmmakers need to create it and control it. We have a strobe light effect for lightning and a recorded sound effect for thunder.
Yes, Three Amigos.
That was the end in post-production.
I love how much is filmed here at Universal and how many things they can transform.
Naturally to the ground as rain would. And the cameras would shoot just below the sprinkler head. Now these drops of water are larger than the average drop and they have light shining on them. Surprisingly hard to capture rain on film.
See if we can catch this flood.
I think you guys get the idea. We'll be moving on here in just a moment. Do you hear something? Oh no. Flash of flood you just experienced is comprised of thousands of gallons of water released from the top of the hill. They're collected at the bottom and sent back up to the top before the next flash of flood. And that very effect and set was used in Big Fat Liar.
You can't outrun the wolf, kid! Yeah, we'll see about that.
All right, someone did pull the emergency cord. If this is a medical emergency, please pull the cord again. If it's a dropped item, please pull the cord again. All right, raise your hand and I will be back to assist you.
Somebody pulled the emergency cord on our tram ride, so we're stopped. Hey, that was a cool view of the water coming up from this side, the splash up. So we'll just see what's going on here. Oh, wonderful. We're just going to do a bathroom stop on the tram ride. Interesting. I've never had that happen before, where somebody pulls the red cord and has to go to the bathroom. Note to self, use the restroom before you get on the tram. Oh, I'm okay, thank you.
Thanks for your patience, folks. We'll get moving again in just a moment.
All right, folks, we have been through a very stressful tour, so I think...
Now we have headed from Old Mexico and into the start of our 6 Points, Texas area. And 6 Points, Texas is named for the 6 converging streets that comprise it. And in Universal Studios' first year, Westerns were really their bread and butter, and they made over 100 Westerns in just 1 year. And they were able to do that because they were all silent films. They filmed 6 films at the same time, one on each of the converging streets that make up 6 Points, Texas, because they could all film at once, because they didn't have to worry about quiet zones like we do today, like the one we passed through at the start of our tour.
This is what happens when you pull the red cord and you have to go to the bathroom in the middle of a tram tour. Apparently somebody comes stat and whisks you away to the bathroom. It's all about the movie magic, people. Wait, are they going backlot? I have to go too then. Wait, did they get to the backlot? I might have to go to the backlot too. Bye-bye. Hope everything comes out all right.
Now this western area was used for a huge production that just came out once upon a time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino, starring Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Margot Robbie, filmed on these western sets last summer for about a month. And what's pretty unique about it is that they were in the film, they're on the set of a TV show. So they used the natural backdrop of the studio. So you can see some of the route for our tour and the sound stages and whatnot in the background of the scenes they filmed on these western sets. So it takes place in 1969, so they made it accurate to that year, but then the western sets accurate to a western show that would take place in the past, but filmed in 1969. So here on the left is Park Lake, and that is where Creature from the Black Lagoon was filmed, just a small piece of the monster movie history at Universal. Now we have reached about the halfway mark of our tour, so just a reminder to stay seated at all times, pull that cord in case of emergency or if you need assistance, and we'll get you some help, but do always remain seated. Now to our left, that is the production for Home and Family. It's a DIY craft show, and they film here most weeks, Monday through Friday, and their whole production is right there to the left. But now we are heading into a soundstage. Just a reminder to stay seated for your safety. Keep your belongings close. You never know what to expect here. Now, as you can see, we are in a metropolitan subway. And this is a hot set, which means this set is all ready for filming. The set pieces and props are in place. And details indicate that we are in San Francisco. But if our production needed this to be a different metropolitan city, they could change those details. Tremor. They could change those details to be whatever suits. Oh, all right, this might be a little bigger than I thought. Hang on, everybody.
My biggest fear, and I'm trapped in Universal Subway. Earthquake. Ah! Before you get on the tram, sit in the third or fourth tram cars back so you can see everything.
All right, I think it's over. We're gonna try to pull out. Oh no, it looks like a water main broke.
Wow, Mikey! Ah!
Congratulations, everyone. You just survived
Right
earthquake.
I know.
That earthquake simulates an 8.3 earthquake on the Richter scale. And that very set was used in an episode of Boom starring Emily Deschanel and David Boreanaz.
There you go.
That included an earthquake.
Couldn't go very far. And we're just picking up our potty passengers again. Interesting. So they must have a restroom on set here that's available if you pull the red cord on the tram. Thanks, helper.
Yeah, we're here about the new remains.
Now, we've been through a lot together, everyone. We have been through a dinosaur attack, multiple dinosaur attacks, a flash flood, an earthquake. I think we've earned a little vacation, and we are going to head to the beach and relax at Amity Island. And I know what you're thinking, Sarah, isn't there a shark terrorizing beachgoers? But as you can see to the right, the shark has been caught. All is well. Just remember to remain seated for your safety, of course.
Where is it? Dad, my lollipop. Careful, Dad.
So as you can see, the shark has been caught. We have nothing to fear. Oh no. It looks like there is another shark. Oh. And there's my friend George doing one last sweep of the water. Don't worry, folks, he's a professional. I am so sorry you had to see that. George had a lot of guts to be out there, which we just saw, and he was doing what he loved. That's all that matters. We are just going to pull up behind this dock. We are on dry land. Don't worry, you are perfectly safe on the tram.
Awesome, thank you.
That mechanical shark you just experienced works a lot better than the shark that was used for Jaws. The shark for Jaws malfunctioned out on location in Martin Flaws. The shark was such an issue that Steven Spielberg had to retool the film. And instead of showing the shark, he shot from the shark's perspective, implying it was there with quick camera movements and water splashing, and leaving the rest to the audience's imagination, which is arguably much scarier.
There's some filming up ahead in progress, probably similar to the filming we saw earlier out by that cabin setting. So let's see what we can see as we turn the corner here in just a minute. Probably that cabin filming. Cabin filming at night that we saw earlier. Yeah, you're right. So it looks like we're just hanging out until they clear us to continue on the tram. some filming going on up ahead. If you're just checking in, we are at Universal Studios Hollywood. Don't forget to check our Insta stories for more and all the fun we've had today. Our highlight of the day was checking out Jurassic World, now open. We never went on the first ride, so we were super surprised with this one. Lots of new things and a big drop that comes out of nowhere. Don't want to give away too much, but watch my video and you guys can see more. That is on Insta stories and Instagram TV on my feed. Like we are allowed to go again, so we're probably going to swing by over here and see some kind of something that was being filmed because they had us quiet on the set for a few minutes here. Say bye to Jaws. Dark, so let's see what else we can see here on the tram tour. It's a hot set to the left. This is where Desperate Housewives was filmed, but now there's something new with Mindy Kaling filming tonight.
Better known as Wisteria Lane, and it's where Real Housewives filmed, and there is a production taking place right down that way, and that is the production that we hopped into that quiet zone for, so they could pick up my lovely voice on their cameras. Now, I know it starts, but if I asked you to look to your left and right and tell me what you see here, you would say nothing. It looks like we are in the middle of nowhere, and that is exactly the point of this area. We call this stretch Wilderness Road. 911 filmed an episode here, as well as Bird Box starring Sandra Bullock. They shot scenes here as well. And Desperate Housewives shot a scene here where Susan's car broke down on the side of the road. Universal sits on almost 400 acres in a variety of terrain. So if a production needs to make it look like as if they're in the middle of the woods, they can achieve that here on this road without having to go on location. And now up ahead, we are going to see some set pieces from a huge production when it was here at Universal. Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, directed by Ron Howard, starring Jim Carrey and Christine Moransky. This was a huge production when it was here. It took up 11 sound stages and a huge portion of the backlot. One soundstage was just dedicated to hair and makeup to transform all of the extras into Who's.
You're a bad banana with a greasy back.
But the Who's have an unlikely and unfortunate neighbor. They are forced to reside next to the Bates Hotel, made famous, of course, by Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho and its sequels. And you can see Norman's house up on that hill where he resided with dear old mom. Now, Alfred Hitchcock was a bit of a rebel when he gave a copy of Psycho to the censors. They said it was far too scandalous and he had to make major changes before they would release the film. He took it back, sat on it for a couple of weeks, and resubmitted it to them without changing a single frame. And they thanked him so much for the changes he made and released the film as is. But now we are going to explore one of the largest sets ever constructed. This is the disaster site from the War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning. And this set includes a real Boeing 747 airplane being constructed. It cost just $60,000 to purchase, not bad, but $200,000 to transport. This area is so realistic and it's been used to train real search and rescue dogs.
perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about the War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Now I'm closed. Robbie, get in. Get in.
This set was also used in the Netflix show Love. They needed to be on the set of a big disaster movie, and we happen to have one right here. Now we have reached about the 10-minute mark of our tour, so just a reminder to stay seated for your safety and pull that cord in case of emergency or if you need assistance, but do remain seated. Now on your right, you will see that there is a production here using this area, and there's a log cabin. It's a little dark, but you can see it with these lights here. And this log cabin was built for the great outdoors, starring John Candy. But beyond that log cabin, it's a little dark, but you'll see its outline through the trees here. There's a big blue wall, and it has a pit in front of it. Let me show you what that looked like in the film Sully, starring Tom Hanks.
Evacuate.
And if you look here as we pass through this street to the right, you can see the edges of it there. Now, there are a lot of trucks for that production kind of in the way. But that plane, all the people in the water were in front of that wall, but the rest was put in using CGI or computer-generated imagery. When that wall was first built, it was before CGI was developed, and it was used just as a giant backdrop that would be painted. But then as technology advanced, it became a giant green screen, or in our case, blue screen. It was also used in Beyonce's music video for Formation, TLC's music video for Chasing Waterfalls, Hunger Games Catching Fire, and Dunkirk all filmed there as well. But now we have thoroughly explored behind the scenes of the movies, and it is time to put you in the movies. Someone on this tram is an undercover spy, and Owen Shaw is after you. Why does this always happen on my trams? Well, we are just going to hide out in this auto shop. One last reminder to stay seated and hang on to your belongings. We're just going to hide out in here. It sounds like there's an after-race party going on, so it should be fun.
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us
Hey
to
guys, if
stash
you're
you
just checking in, we are at Universal Studios, Hollywood and Universal City, and we are on the night tram tour. Never taken the studio tour at night. It's a lot different. There's some props lit up and some scenes out from the different locations that you drive by that are a little bit different than during the day.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Right now we are about to go in, I think, some of our friends from Fast and Furious.
You'll be needing them soon, but not quite.
We're going to put on our 3-day glasses in a little bit.
Party.
move that vehicle. It's about to get real interesting. I'm on the leases all warmed up right next door.
So here's the Fast and Furious part of the tram tour. Love it. It's really fun and
folks,
exciting.
Go ahead and put on those 3D
We gotta put on our 3D glasses now.
Hang on to your belongings. Let's see if we can get out of this mess. That was Fast and Furious Supercharged.
Oh, that was pretty cool. I'm just super excited I got to see The Rock. Yes, hello, handsome.
It's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it. They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys be good out there. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
Alright, you guys, so we are just about done with the studio tour lot. And we hope to catch some of the great show of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter's Dark Arts. And then we'll head home. It closes at 10 tonight.
The end of
Summer
our
hours
time
are
together,
amazing.
and we are returning to the theme park. Hi, many people I need to thank. First, let's give it up for Alex for driving us all over the studio today so we could explore. I want to thank King Kong for saving us from the dinosaurs, Dom and his crew for getting us out of that pickle, Jimmy for being my co-host, and most of all of you for joining us today on this studio tour. I know you're nearing the end of the night, but if you haven't already, download the Universal Studios app. It's super helpful for showtimes, wait times, if you want to check out City Walk, restaurant info. And you can see there that the park closes tonight at 10. If there are any changes, they update the app. My name is Sarah, and if you have any questions or want to say hi, I'll be by the digital directory as you head off board. And I want to thank you so much for joining us today at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA.
Oh, and the park is empty down here because the last tram tour was 8:30 tonight, so we just hopped on that. All right, you guys, don't forget to check out our Insta stories. Thanks for hanging out with us on the studio tour down at Universal Studios Hollywood, and we'll be back with more. All right, you guys. All right, So I think that's it for us tonight. We're going to see what we can maybe see about the dark arts at the castle. Oh, let me return my glasses here. But big shout out to Zoe for her birthday. Happy birthday, Zoe. And I hope she had a great night. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to check out our Insta stories. And enjoy when you guys come to Universal Studios Hollywood too.
See you later.